Greetings. I am Hilarion. I am the Master and Chohan of the fifth ray. The fifth ray does in fact beam the essence of truth and healing into your reality. The mansions of color that exist within each body are radiated to the world through the chakras when in fact the human begins to know in a conscious and loving way that they are in the body to serve their higher selves. There is no more important contribution to your own life that you can make than focus and seeing, not just with the eyes, but with your heart, the truth of the reality within which you now sit. This reality within now you are sitting is vibratory in nature, but your brain cannot bring the order of the truth of the speed and the light, the sound and color of who you really are in the higher dimensions, and so it decodes all those messages into your physical world. Limited spectrum of color, limited spectrum of ideas, limited, nevertheless a spectrum, which means that you are connected in the almighty power of your divinity to the continuum, the entirety of the spectrum of divine love, wisdom, power, truth, and that the physical world, once one has commanded themselves into the higher consciousness and be able to move their energies in the direction of expressing with clarity in the moment. Once the human has been able to do that, the process of purification has begun. And to purify doesn't have to mean food or water. The clarification of physical energies, but the purification of the part of the self that has enabled themselves to recognize through practice over and over again that the world you perceive is a world that's coming forward out of your mind. The world that you are understanding is coming out of your understanding, which is limited. The world of what you call your beliefs is a limited spectrum of ideas and hallucinations that other humans have had. After all, how many things have you been able to experience that you were told in a book or in a classroom exist? Your experience is the key. And your experience is moment to moment. Your thoughts are dragged up out of your history. And so the truth of the reality in which you sit is hidden from you. And therefore there is a great amount of trust, great amount of longing, great amount of desire that comes forward in the being that is putting a foot on what is called the spiritual path. Being careful not to classify oneself in the way that humanity classifies spirituality. but putting your foot into the unknown with absolute faith and trust is a propulsion in the direction of getting to know your higher self and being able to have information in the form of experiences that become your ultimate truth. What you know, what you have experienced. And it is through the third eye, that part of oneself that is the platform, the doorway into the extended reality, that you can begin to allow the magnificence, the majesty, the beauty of the creation that is present on the planet of Earth, with the complexities that exist beyond the understanding, of course, of science and each and every human being. The gift of knowledge is not always a gift. Being careful not to draw conclusions is important. Once you have drawn a conclusion, you have brought yourself into the moment in time where it is that you have stopped seeking. This life is all about seeking. It is the truth of the entirety of the cosmos, that life creates life, and that life will ongoingly create life, and that there is no death. There is that part of oneself that must dematerialize in order for the spirit to be released into a higher frequency. But the human has not understood that or experienced it in this particular life cycle. And so the search goes on within the physical realm for answers, when there are no answers in the physical realm that will quench your thirst. So it is through the fifth ray and the focus upon the third eye that the vibration of green brings in the newness, just like spring, just like an unfurling leaf. That vibration of green is one of vibrancy. And if you think of green, you might be able to smell it. It's a vibratory rate that is continuum of earth and water. It is a manifestation in the frequency realm of the ongoing love and ability to create that is shared with the human from life cycle to life cycle. And therefore, giving yourself permission to focus on the third eye, not to search out into space for unanswered questions to be answered, but to realize that this is a portal, a part of yourself that is the doorway to the continuum of life after life after life. And to give yourself permission to sit in wonderment with this facet of your being will bring untold gifts, unexperienced, unimaginable vibrations and exhilarance, ecstasy, and vibrations of harmony that can be easily shared with your brothers and sisters on the planet of Earth. It is good to speak with you. I am Hilarion, Chohan and Master of the Fifth Ray.